The fight to protect the environment continues. One expert is calling on people to understand the environmental consequences of the food they eat. Lindsay Hopkins says our food choices contribute quite significantly to greenhouse gas emissions, as well as the environmental impact of waste. She joins us live now to tell us about this very important conversation. Lindsay, thank you so much for your time and good morning to you. This is actually important information, and I wonder if people are aware that there is a direct impact between the environment and the food we consume.
Yeah, exactly. We do need to be more aware of it. A lot of people don't have any idea, and I think it's based on that they don't then make responsible and better decisions.
Yeah. So perhaps let's get into some of those details. Where is that direct link, and is it a negative or a positive sort of like link here between food consumption as well as the environment?
Well, any organic matter that sits in the environment releases methane gas, which is about 26 times more potent than carbon dioxide. So really, we shouldn't be throwing any food away. And also, the wonderful part about organic waste is all of that can be converted either into like a compost or something more that can go back into the soil to regenerate it, rather than using the chemicals that we've become so used to using.
So what is your advice then to people, just in terms of making sure that they play quite an active role in making sure that they have a positive impact on the environment through food?
I think just making choices. I know in South Africa we can't really be to blame because we're buying as we're eating, and our waste is actually quite small at the end consumer level because of our economic state and income. But when you are going to the supermarkets, consider going to farmers markets and supporting local people, not driving so far to get to your food. Also, you can consider that shopping online is just a massive big packaging exercise, and there's a lot of wastage that happens at this level, all for your and my convenience, rather than us actually taking the extra 5 minutes to actually make the time to chop and prepare our own food. So there's a lot of waste through the whole processing and packaging area. And also we've become so accustomed to having the most perfectly shaped or coloured fresh produce that so much at agricultural level goes to waste, because us as end consumers don't want a small cucumber or a large one to perfectly sized and all the colours. Yeah.
Yeah. Lindsay, what are the long-term negative effects? I mean, if we don't heed this call and there's a continuous gas emissions going out into the environment, what are the long-term effects?
Well, with the long-term effects comes our climate change, and we've seen that in our weather pattern. But again, this is hitting agricultural level so hard. I mean, in KZN, we should be coming up to a drought soon. I mean, we've just had those massive floods. We've had hailstorms, which has damaged the crop. So you just don't know what's going to happen year on year, even if you plan your harvesting and stuff. So the climate is the biggest problem for us. If that's how it affects us as everyday people, is the unknown waves of weather patterns.
But also, I mean, it doesn't hurt to take this information even for yourself and your body, because at the end of the day, we could be talking about the environment. It's equally important to encourage healthy eating.
Absolutely. I mean, this word organic is so easily thrown around. Yeah. There's another word that goes along called greenwashing. And people need to be aware that they'll highlight one part, forgetting that the other part is actually a terrible effect on you. So it's not about always just believing everything that you read or everything that people tell you. Rather, just go and do the research and just go onto Google and read up about it. There's so much information out there that people can educate themselves with. And a lot of the vegetables and fruits, especially nowadays, have been packed full of chemical fertilizers and growth hormones and all that, just to get the demand out because of convenience. Whereas if we actually just take a step back and use composting and use our local farmers, it's going to be a lot cheaper and actually a lot healthier. While it might not look the part, it doesn't mean that it's better for you.
Well, listen, I appreciate this conversation. It also doesn't hurt to have this conversation on Youth Day. It's a day to eat and be merry. We might as well start with practicing, right, healthy eating on this day. But Lindsay Hopkins, thank you so much for joining me right here on Newslink, and just reminding us that what we consume in terms of our food has that direct impact on our environment. So make sure you do your research on what's healthy for you, your body, but also the environment that you live in and the environment that you'll leave behind for future generations.